Alright, today we're going to be taking a look at the Arcstrider, and we're going to be turning this baby into an angry pole dancing hunter. And by that I mean we're going to be optimizing the ever-loving hell out of it. So in today's edition of Let's Take the Most Underpowered Class in the Game and Make It the Best, we're going to be messing around with the Arcstrider, arguably one of the most underperforming supers in this game, on one of the most underperforming classes in this game. I'm going to make it my civil duty to make this thing great again, returning it back to its former glory. And after years and years of hard scientific study, I think I did just that. So strap in, boot up your platform of choice, and we're going to dive straight into this beast, turning what makes it shit into fool's gold. Hope you enjoy. Okay, so first off, you're going to want to run the way of the warrior, or the top tree of the Arcstrider subclass, and we'll get back to that stuff dealing with the tree in a second, but for now we're going to get into the armor that I'm using. This is what I'm running for the setup. As you can see, I have full super mods equipped on all my armor pieces, but one of the main things we're going to take advantage of is the Raid and Flux exotic chest piece. So the Raid and Flux's intrinsic perk is called Synapse Junction, and it reads quick, successive attacks with ARCSTAFF increases its damage output and duration. This buff stacks up to 3 times, and you're pretty much just going to be bitch slapping anything that tries to come at you within a 7-meter range. And it really does feel like your super lasts significantly longer when you have all 3 stacks procced. But anyway, back to the subclass tree. The dodge you run is pretty much based off of preference. I'm going to switch to Gambler's Dodge here because you can have unlimited health regen using it, since dodging your enemies recharges your melee ability instantly, instead of having to reload whatever weapon you're on. The only thing you're missing out on really running Marksman's Dodge is the unlimited health regen from constant melee procs. Now that we're getting into the good part of the build, first on the tree we have Combination Blow. Melee and enemy to trigger health regeneration and increase melee damage temporarily. This is what's going to activate unlimited health since you're just going to be dodging and punching. But this buff also stacks with the super and the Raid and Flux buffs. Next we have Combat Flow. Melee kills recharge your dodge ability. This is also what pairs with Gambler's Dodge, since your dodges refill your melees if you're near an enemy and vice versa. And for the third perk we have Deadly Reach. Dodging increases your melee range. This works together with every perk in this tree, and this will basically let you relive all of 2009 and the sweet era of MW2. This perk is equivalent to Commando Pro, where you can equip a sniper scope to your fucking fist and map people with it. And finally we have Lethal Current. ARCSTAFF creates a damaging lightning aftershock. This is the final damage buff you have for ARCSTAFF on top of the Synapse Junction and Combination Blow. All 3 of these perks are going to work together to have a massive damage output when you use one of your 40 supers in a single strike. So for perks, what you're going to want to use on your helmet is Hands On. This grants more super energy from melee kills. And your leg armor, you want to use Dynamo. Using your class ability grants super energy. These 2 perks are going to help you generate most of your super energy. When you're in a mosh pit with a bunch of enemies punching and flipping like an acrobat, you should have your super in roughly about 20 seconds. For mods, I like to run full super mods to make my base cooldown somewhere around 3 minutes. But you can use something like an ordnance mod on all of them to have your grenades back on top of all of that quicker. But all of this is going to work in unison. All of your abilities should be regenerating almost immediately. Once you get into a... you can pretty much use your super maybe 7 to 8 times a strike, probably even more. So if you're wondering if this build is practical because it just seems like you're boxing and flipping, I would say yes, because the infinite melee and dodges are good. But what really stands out is how quickly your super regenerates in such a short period of time. I will be making a video on how to optimize and make the new ARC subclass better than what it is now, because on the surface it really is some shit. But if you want to see more gameplay, I'm going to let the strike footage I put together roll out. And I hope you found this interesting, and I think you should give this build a try because it's fun as hell. But if you found this helpful, consider dropping a like or maybe even a sub to the channel. And that's it for me. See ya.